I've always been passionate about food. I have fond memories of being in the kitchen with my mom, baking bread, cinnamon rolls, tacos, veggie burgers, pizza, all kinds of interesting food, and eating dinner together as a family. I have amazing memories. Then coming to Bali and seeing the struggles some people face in trying to feed themselves truly made me open up my eyes to the thought that people in Bali had never or could never experience the same memories or even the same food made me feel extremely sad. So, I decided to do something about that, to help, to make a change. This is my quest. Since January, I've been doing a lot of research about world hunger and SDG 2, Zero Hunger. SDG 2, Zero Hunger, is about creating a world free of hunger by 2030, which is an aggressive goal to shoot for, considering that according to the UN, world hunger has been slowly rising over the past few decades, now affecting nearly 10% of the world's population, which is 828 million people, which is the equivalent to the population of the USA, Russia, the UK, and Indonesia combined. World hunger is largely due to conflict, climate change, population growth, and COVID-19. Conflict. Between 2018 and 2021, the number of people faced with food insecurities in countries experiencing conflict increased by 88%. Climate change. As global temperatures and sea levels rising results in more heat waves, droughts, floods, cyclones, and wildfires, which causes food production to reduce. Population growth. The world's population is 8 billion and is steadily rising, which puts more demand on food production. COVID-19. World hunger and malnutrition levels worsened dramatically over the last couple of years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The UN's SDG goal of zero hunger by 2030 will be missed by a margin of nearly 660 million people. To add to the problem, COVID has increased food insecurity in Indonesia. During the entire year of 2021, 51 tourists came to Bali, which is vastly different from 2019 when 6.3 million tourists came to Bali. With roughly 70% of the island's economy depending on tourism, this forced many Balinese to think about how they would feed themselves. So different local organizations stepped in to help, like Prasad Food Kitchen, SOS Bali, and many more. Here are some additional facts. 1 billion people live on less than $1.25 a day. Hunger is the cause of 45% of all children's deaths. Each year, 3.1 million children die from hunger. 99 million children under the age of 5 are still undernourished, which causes poor health, low energy, and reduction in brain function. 1 billion people live in extreme poverty. Extreme poverty means that they are deprived of their basic human needs, such as food, safe drinking water, sanitation, education, health, and shelter. Hunger is not just about food. It's about people and inequalities. The majority of worldwide hunger resides in underdeveloped countries where extreme poverty and lack of access to nutritious food often leads to malnutrition. There is definitely enough food production in the world to feed everyone, but because of food waste, import-export costs, and inequalities, as many as 828 million people still go hungry. At the beginning of my Quest project, I wanted to help dogs. Maybe I could raise some money for them, maybe adopt them off the streets. However, when we were doing Green War Rung in term 2, I'd always see people across the way making food at Prasad Kitchen. And sometimes my parents would be over there too. So one day I decided to go take a look. They were making 220 meals. And I'd always be very inspired by the efforts they were trying to make to the community. I was curious and interested to learn more about Prasad, what they do, and how they started. So I started to talk to Karsten, one of the co-founders of Prasad Kitchen. We had a very nice chat. I asked some questions, I got some great answers, and I told him my idea for Quest. I was going to raise as much money as I could for Prasad Kitchen. Prasad is a non-for-profit that helps feed people in need. Local volunteers come to their location, help prepare, make, and hand out 200 to 500 meals 5 days a week. At the moment, however, they're focusing on taking boxes of food and food essentials to the mountain villages, or the people who have been left to society. They're hoping to reopen the food kitchen as soon as they get more funding. I plan to raise money in several different ways. Writing a cookbook, creating a YouTube video, and emailing donation requests to businesses. Making a cookbook was a very long process. First, I had to pick out recipes. I love all food, so this is a bit of a challenge. In the end, I picked out 20 of my favorites. For example, I am very passionate about animals, especially dogs, so I added dog treats. I also added Prasad sambal sauce recipe. I even found some mild photos of food and used those in the recipe book. Next, I had to format it on a computer, rewrite the recipes, and include my own photos. On to printing. After looking at different costs, I decided to print on my grandma's printer on our visit to the US. I then cut, put together, and taped the books by hand. I plan to sell my books at Spirit Friday, with a goal of selling 40 books. I exceeded that and sold 68 books. Next, I created a YouTube video. For the script, I knew I wanted to talk about Prasad's mission, what they do, and how truly amazing they are. After I talked about Prasad, I showed a variety of different photos, which helps to show the good they do, like this. I also explained the struggles Prasad was having and asked for donations. I sent the video out to friends and family and asked them to share even further. I was surprised by the generous donations I received. And lastly, sending out donation requests to businesses. This was a bit of a struggle, as I didn't know where to start. So, I decided to talk to my Aunt Erin, who is the director of fundraising for a nonprofit. She had many great suggestions, but the one I chose was to write letters to Bali resorts asking for donations. We thought this would be best, as resorts bring in the most money to Bali. This quest experience has shown me many things, but the one that stands out to me the most is that giving is more rewarding than receiving, which is why I chose to donate 100% of donations, birthday, Christmas, and Guru money to Prasad Kitchen. There has been many ups by song on my cookbooks and many downs getting to the stress of this day. But I've learned to overcome them by always staying true, to focus on your goals, don't look anywhere else but ahead. And here my goal is to raise as much money as possible. In total, I raised 56.7 million rupiah, which is the equivalent to $3,800 US. And I'm very proud of my project, and I wouldn't change it for the world. But I'd like you to take a minute and think about these 3 things while you watch a quick video. Think about how you can help. Think about how you can take action. Think about how, if everyone on this planet did a little bit, then hunger would be a thing of the past.
When you grow up, you get way down. Stare at the ceiling from the ground. I've never dealt with this before, and I've never felt so insecure. Could somebody tell me what's in store? I'm sure.
If we can conquer space, we can conquer childhood hunger, said by Buzz Aldrin. I would like to thank all the Quest teachers, especially Ibu Angie, for always helping me in Quest Jalan Jalan. I'd also like to thank my parents, family, and friends for always being so supportive and always pushing me, especially Olivia, Sophie, and Dana. I couldn't have asked for better best friends through this journey. And lastly, I'd like to thank all the generous people who donated. Eat well, live simple, give often. Thank you.